In its application to the Supreme Court of Rwanda, the Democratic Green Party had argued that the Rwandan constitution had articles that were intangible, one of them being Article 101, which talks of term limits for heads of state, an argument that Rwanda's Chief Justice Sam Rugege termed as baseless. In his ruling, he noted that all constitutional clauses are subject to change apart from Article 193, which provides for the process through which the constitution can be amended.
If
the constitution is amended, it will not be an undemocratic process, especially if the process is factoring in the wishes of the people and done so with respect to legal provisions.
What is going on in Rwanda today with regards to the calls for constitutional amendment to remove term limits was nothing unusual, he said.
Because citizens in other countries have the right to change the constitutions in their countries, just like them, the Rwandan citizens are the only ones with the right to decide on how they are governed, either through a referendum or their representatives in parliament.
With the Supreme Court's ruling, the question now is whether the path is now clear for a referendum that would see term limits abolished to allow President Paul Kagame to run for office again after his second term ends in 2017. Political analyst Dr. Christopher Kayumba.
First of all, we don't know so far if the president will stand again. But what we know that it is that this decision paves the way for a referendum, because as you know, the process has already started. Parliament put in place a commission to help it study Article 101 and other articles in the Constitution so that they can be changed. But also there is also a process that will lead up to a referendum.
The Democratic Green Party now says it will seek other avenues to make their case heard, including a petition to President Paul Kagame.
Because we think that since he's a supreme guarantor, and I think he can still give reason to what we have been saying. But as for the court, we cannot. There's no any other court of appeal here in Rwanda. Yes.
In an earlier press conference this year, President Paul Kagame was categorical that he stood on the side of those who did not want the constitution amended, but was quick to add that those that wanted it changed to allow him run for office again had the right to that opinion.
For the other one, they have to convince somebody else, not me, because I have no problem with not continuing. Those who think nothing should be done, nothing should change, actually they don't have to convince me. Because for me, I'm convinced that come 2017, what should happen the way they expect it.
The much-awaited ruling by the Supreme Court was seen as the only stumbling block for those who are working on the constitutional amendment process to remove term limits here in Kigali. The question now is whether the Green Party will succeed in its quest to have the president have a word on that particular issue. For KTN News in Kigali, I'm Eugene Anangwe reporting.